Hello friends, I'm Dr. Mohan Bansal. I'm Professor and Head in the Department of ENT at Parul University, Vadodara. In today's clinic, we will learn how to examine oral cavity. So our examination of the oral cavity should be very systematic. We should start from the outer structure and then go to the inside structures so that we will not miss anything. As you know, the anteriormost limit of the oral cavity is lips. So you can see this lower lip and the upper lip, and these are the commissures. They are also called the angle of the mouth. This angle of mouth is very important from surgical point of view. If the cancer is involving this angle of the mouth, you'll have to remove that, and reconstruction becomes literally very difficult. And the central part of the lower lip, it will drain into the submental lymph nodes. The lateral part of the lower lip will drain into the submandibular lymph nodes. Upper lip lymphatic drainage into the periauricular, parotid, and again the submandibular and the upper deep cervical group of lymph nodes. So both these lips, they should be examined. We should see for any ulcer or any swelling. Open your mouth, and then we'll ask the patient to open mouth. We should see whether the opening of the mouth is sufficient or not, because there is a condition called oral mucous fibrosis in which patient can have trismus or difficulty in opening the mouth. Then after the lip, then we will examine the buccal mucosa. So for buccal mucosa, that is the inside lining of the mucosa that covers the cheek and even the medial surface, deeper surface of the lip also. That will be mucosa, that will be also included in the buccal mucosa. Then we should see for this sulcus, gingivolabial sulcus, gingivobuccal sulcus, mucosa, that we should see. And then we should see for this opening of the Stensen's duct. You can see this swelling. This is the Stensen's duct open near the crown of the upper second molar teeth. So this is the opening. Sometimes it is congested. You can see sometimes discharge also in cases of parotitis. And posterior limit is this pterygomandibular raphe and retromolar trigone. Then we should see examine the tongue. Put out your tongue completely. So this is the anterior two-thirds of the tongue, you can see. So this anterior two-thirds of the tongue is the part of oral cavity, whereas posterior one-third of the tongue of the part is the part of oropharynx. So in this anterior two-thirds, we can see the tip of the tongue, the lateral margins of the tongue, the dorsal surface, and then the ventral surface. In the ventral surface, you can see this frenulum, and then you can see this deep lingual vein, and we can see this fimbria, and low down we can see this sublingual papillae. Over and above the sublingual papillae, we can see the opening of the Barton's duct. Barton's duct is for the submendibular salivary gland, and this floor of the mouth is crescentic sort of space. So you can see this part, but for the posterior part, we'll have to use two tongue depressors, and like that we can detect, so that we can see the posterior part of the floor of the mouth. And then we should see for the roof of the oral cavity. Open your mouth. That is formed by the hard palate. So hard palate makes the roof of the oral cavity and floor of the nasal cavity. Then posterior to that lies the soft palate, say ah. So this moving part curtain you can see, that is the part of soft palate. You can see the uvula. Again, this soft part of the soft palate is not the part of oral cavity, it is the part of oropharynx. So you can see this entire soft palate. You can see the uvula. We can see this anterior tonsillar pillar, posterior tonsillar pillar. And while pressing the tongue, we should take care that we should not touch the posterior part, because that will lead to gag. And it should not be pressed directly, but it should be levered like this. And fulcrum will be the lower set of teeth. So that is the way that we should press the tongue. And then in the tonsillar fossa, you can see the tonsil. They are quite normal, hardly visible. And this is the retromolar trigone that I talked about. Now this, and then you can see the alveoli, this lower alveolus and the upper alveolus and gingiva. So we have seen almost all the this, and then you can see this frenulum. In cases of tongue tie, this frenulum is very short, and that will not allow the tongue to come out, and that can lead to condition called tongue tie, or it is also called ankyloglossia. Now this floor of the mouth, it drains into the central part will drain into the submental lymph nodes, and the lateral part will drain into the submandibular lymph nodes. And similarly, the buccal, the hard palate anterior part, that will drain into the submandibular lymph nodes, and the posterior part, they will drain they can directly drain into the upper deep cervical or through the retropharyngeal lymph nodes. And after examining, and then we should, during the examination, we should see for any ulcer or any growth or any swelling or any discoloration of the mucosa, any pigmentation, any whitish patches, any white fibrous bands. So we should look for them. And then after this examination, we should not forget to palpate the lymphatic drainage, because that is very important. Without the palpation of the lymphatic drainage, the examination is not complete. So we should, when we are palpating the lymph nodes, we ask the patient to flex the neck, and then we should feel the submandibular lymph nodes, then the level 2, that is upper deep cervical, level 3, middle deep cervical, level 4, lower deep cervical, and then the anterior part, and then in the posterior triangle. So all these lymph nodes we should palpate. As you know, the oral cancer is very common in India, and rather it is the most common cancer of the Indian males. So we should suspect that oral cancer if you can see any ulceration or any growth, that we should see. Now I will show you the bimanual palpation that is done in cases of any swelling that lies in the sublingual region or in the submandibular region. So with this bimanual palpation, we can differentiate between the submandibular salivary gland swelling and the submandibular lymph nodes. So it is done, the one finger will be in the floor of the mouth, another finger will be in the submandibular region, and then we can feel the submandibular lymph node and submandibular gland, and even in cases of submandibular duct calculus, Wharton's duct calculus, even that also we can feel. Then there is another function of this tongue depressor. We can use it for this spatula test to see any stuffiness of the nose. Sauce bar Cado? Yes, thank you. So I hope that you must have enjoyed my video session of this oral cavity examination. Thank you.